Hey guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University, and the return of Wolverine, issue number 1 of 5. And 1 of 5, they're obviously not talking about the number of variant covers there are. So this is the original cover, first print, all that good stuff. This is the original cover. But there are plenty of other covers, which is all just Wolverine in that exact pose, but wearing different costumes that he's worn throughout his life. So this starts off very interesting. It's a beautiful way to start off. There is no explanation for the hot claws in this, but it does start off obviously with that. And the visual of him cooling down the hot claws by soaking them in the blood that's around him is crazy. That is like, it is so visualizing, so telling. It's amazing, amazing. So Wolverine just kind of wakes up. He doesn't know why. He doesn't know how. He doesn't know how he got here. Gee, sounds like typical Wolverine to me, right? So genuinely, Wolverine is back. And Sotera is the main corporation that's done stuff with him. They're trying to clone him and everything. Man, this poor guy. And there was just an assassination, or excuse me, there was a hit done in this lab. You get to find out why in the comic book. It's interesting. Now, I do have, first off, got to find where these, why don't they just make it easy and put all this stuff in the same place so I know where to find these things. Return of Wolverine, writer Charles Soule, penciler Steve McNiven, inker Jay Leistein, and color artist Laura Martin. The letterer is VC's Joe Sabino. Cover artists Steve McNiven and Laura Martin. So I'm glad that the inside artists are also the outside artists. There are a lot of variant covers. I'm just not getting it. Dude, that's the whole freaking review if I'm just talking about all the variant cover artists. It's not happening. So there's a lot of foreshadowing here, which I like. Wolverine has to fight a giant-sized saber-toothed tiger. Sounds an awful lot like his #1 main enemy in life, right? You see a bunch of versions of Wolverine talking to Wolverine. And then you get to see that he's got an internal dialogue with Persephone, the woman who's in charge of Yesteryear. You see a bunch of characters from Wolverine's past, which it almost feels like we're in Wolverine's delusion. And I really like the way that they're doing it. There's these faceless, nameless, voiceless characters who are working for Sotera. And you see some images of the past where it's like, there's no way this is real. There's no way. We're all in a delusion here. So Wolverine's seeing these different versions of himself in his mind's eye. This is interesting. The way that Persephone in his head gives him a key. It's a skeleton key. And there's all these prison cells of all these different versions of Wolverine and Wolverine's enemies, everything, and Wolverine's friends, all locked up. But Wolverine doesn't actually know who he is in this. You might say, oh, that's not cool because I'm sick of those kinds of stories, but we're going to be able to see Wolverine making all of his mistakes and all of his good choices in these 5 issues, and I can't wait. Wolverine is allowed to unlock any of those cells. Any of them. But once they're unlocked, he ain't putting those people back in. So again, these are versions of himself, versions of his friends, versions of his enemies, and he doesn't know who these people are. So, when he learns from one of the people in here, one of the versions of who he was, case in point, why she thinks that he wears yellow, that, first off, that was beautiful. That was goddamn beautiful. Wow. Charles Soule, man. Excellent writing. You see Wolverine unlock the first of the people in the cages, the first of the versions of him from the cage. And it's damn. Charles Soule is a lawyer by in his past profession. His current profession, he's a comic book artist. And he's doing a damn good job doing it. Just in that one scene alone, that was great. That was so beautiful. There are some parts in here which I find curious. The way that some of these people are talking to him, either it's Soule not being able to get his point across in a good way, or, even worse, It's these people having an ulterior motive, which means that they don't have Wolverine's best interests at heart. Because the way that it was written, it feels like these people are being dishonest. When the people who talk to Wolverine, there's only 2 of them? I think there's only 2 of them that in real life, it seems, are actually talking to Wolverine. And neither of them seem like trustworthy, honorable people. It feels like they're trying to lie to him. The second one later, maybe that impression should be changed. Maybe. But Wolverine could still be being played at this point. It feels like everything here is a setup. And I hope that it is, simply because I'd rather him being manipulated as opposed to the writing just simply being really off. You kind of get where I'm going? So that being said, this was really good. This was really good. I did enjoy this. It's definitely a worthy successor to the Death of Wolverine, which is the same crew for the most part. You know what I'm saying? They come back to bring him back. This was good. I think we all, for the most part, liked his death and the story behind it. I'm starting to like his return. It's pretty cool. All right, guys. Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Class dismissed.